What are we looking at? Well, we're looking at the WINTERBLADE Factor. I love this knife. I have a confession to make and an apology to make to Brian. I didn't want to like this. But unfortunately, well, fortunately, I should say, I love this knife. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. But not yet. Guys, I want to apologize before we get too far into this video. You're going to notice that there's a change in the tone of some of my videos over the last couple weeks. And I try not to say too much about stuff that goes on in my life and things like that. It's not depression. It's not that I'm upset with the YouTube algorithm. My daughter's experienced some serious health issues, and we don't know what's causing it. It's really rough as a parent to keep up the brave face. But we're really concerned. We don't know what's going on. She is throwing up upwards of 30 times a day, and we can't find a definite cause. So if I seem like I'm not as upbeat and happy as typical, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that is really stressful. So I just wanted to apologize. There may be a slowdown in some of the content, but some people already know about this, and for those of you that have wished well, I really appreciate it. So I just want to apologize to you guys, because as much as I care about my daughter, you guys have become somewhat of a far-flung, widespread family. So thanks for watching, and let's get back into the knife. So like I said in the live feed I did with Jim Skelton, this came and I wanted to punch holes in it. I really did. And it's because so many people were on the hype train about it. And I was like, you know what? It can't be that good. It's got this weird flipper mid-body. You know, how can it be that good? And the second, and I mean the second, I pulled it out of the box and did this, I was like, gosh, darn it. I instantly fell in love with it. And the longer it's been here, the more I have to say that this thing is amazing. So we're going to get into the specs. I'll put a spec sheet up right here, and we'll take a look at that spec sheet. I'm not going to do any specs really, but that's where you can look at some specs. We're going to talk about all the things that there are to love about this knife. I have found very little wrong with this knife. So give me a second. I'm going to get a couple things out for size comparison. The first of which is going to be the Ferrum Forge Aluris, which is another knife that I currently have a love affair with and a passion with. Hard to get out of my pocket. But you can see overall not that close. It's fairly small. This is not a real big knife. Nice Warncliffe blade. But yeah, you can see size comparison. This is probably, I mean, there's some parallax. I'd say maybe half an inch bigger than this one. So the next one's going to be the Chavez Knives Ultramar Redención Street. And I did it backwards, I know, because if you're going to have this knife in a video, you got to show the pocket clip. So yeah, you can see this one's still a little bit bigger overall length than that one. God, I love this knife. It is so cool. So yeah, you can see kind of similar in size. And our last one's gonna be, as always, the Chris Reeves Sabenza. So you can see it's a good bit bigger than the Factor. So yeah, not a real big knife. Let's get this out of the way and take a good quick look at this knife overall. So like I said, this one is unique. And so if you've not seen this one, or if you haven't seen my original video about this, the thing that makes this so amazing is there's no springs in here. There's no detent ball. There's no locking mechanism really that you would be able to recognize, because it's all done with magnets. Even this, your little flipper tab, is held in by magnets. So you have this mid-body flipper, which I don't dislike, but I don't use it. I absolutely love the finger flick on this. M390 Warncliffe blade that it comes down, and it's probably not as sharp now because I have used this a lot. This thing came to me from Jared, ridiculously sharp, and it's a factory edge that's still on this. Jared had not sharpened this. This is still factory edge. This thing was ridiculous sharp. Titanium and carbon fiber, titanium pocket clip. And until just the other day, I didn't realize it, but you can actually flip this left hand, right hand carry because this is somewhat ambidextrous. So your lock mechanism, sound is amazing. Your lock mechanism is simply the equivalent to a magnetically run sliding bar lock or axis lock, however you want to. Yes, I do know, guys, there's a piece missing here. Jared told me it's missing. He's going to put something else in it. You have lime G10 accents. This is a lime G10 piece here. And like I said, it's held in by magnets. Your detent is magnets. And you have the best. This is one of the best detents. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that. I wish all detents felt like this. This is probably the best detent on any knife. Your action is really smooth. When you pull back on this, it drops even if it has to fight gravity and go uphill against gravity. The magnets pull it up in. So what you got here is a couple magnets and a couple of standoffs to keep you from rubbing the magnets in case your pivot gets loose. And that's what holds your knife in place. It's in between these two pretty strong magnets, and those hold it in place. And when you break past the magnetic lines of flux, yeah, I studied some stuff every once in a while, and you reach past the grab of those magnets, it just flies open. The lock, pulling that lock back, you get a tick and then a ting, tick, ding. So good. Guys, this is nuts. This is as much fun as I've had in a knife in a long time. But it's not just fun. This thing is really, really comfortable and easy to cut with. And like I said, I try to be honest with all knives, but I had a bias against this one because it seemed like a gimmick. But when it came, and then I got past the fun that still makes me I get goosebumps. Guys, it's 78 degrees out here. I got goosebumps, how cool that is. Once I got past those, then you get into the fact that this is a super comfortable, functional Wharncliffe knife done in quality materials. This thing is just amazing. I screamed through so much stuff with this because Jared told me, he's like, you don't have to baby it. It cuts so well because it's ground relatively thin, not super thin, but it's a fairly robust Wharncliffe in M390, and it screams through stuff. In hand, I do have to admit, there's a little bit of newness to the way this feels in hand because it does have this large cutout here. But once you get it in hand and you're using it, you don't really notice it. And as a matter of fact, if you get it in this grip, I want to make sure I emphasize this. You get it in this grip and you're pinching it up, your knuckle kind of falls in there and you've got that pinch grip for opening boxes and stuff. Really comfortable. Huge, huge aperture for finger flick. Now, if this was my knife, they sell a piece that goes in here because, like I said, while I don't hate this, that works incredibly well. I don't use it. So there's a piece you can get. You can actually modify this, and you can put a piece in here that just covers that, and then you gets rid of that flip. Now, I did have some concerns about this because the fact is it's magnets, and it's magnetic, and the thing is what's going to get caught up in these magnets. Now, I've carried this pretty much everywhere and have not run into any issues. I was afraid that this would attract grit and metal dust and things like that throughout the day, and then it would screw up the action, and I have not experienced that. I was afraid that the detent would start and get gummed up with some metal pieces, and you can see there are little bitty pieces, but guess what? I've taken this apart, and if you take a piece of silly putty, you can pull those pieces off of the magnets really easily. Piece of tape as well, I imagine, but I had silly putty because, well, I've got a kid. The action on this is intense. I've never had a knife that feels like this. As much as I said that deadlock was perfect, this, while it is not perfect, is as good as you're gonna get in the feel of a flipper knife. The action on this is perfect. The knife itself is not perfect because I do have some minor issues. Like I said, it feels weird. I'm not such a big fan of the pocket clip because it is a little tight here with that really sharp on the back. Getting it out of pocket, in pocket, not a problem. Here, I'll let you hear what it sounds like. In pocket, no problem, but it does snap pretty hard coming out of pocket because that's kind of abrupt, especially the branded jeans I wear has a relatively thick seam at the top of the pocket. Just something you might want to think about. But as far as comfort, super comfortable knife. And I mean, you're looking at, like I said, I put up the spec sheet. You're looking at just right at about 7 inches on the mat. So there are so many things going for this. This is a knife that really made me reevaluate some of my other knives that I thought were so great. And there are some knives that just can't stand up next to this. Some really expensive knives, super expensive knives. Do I still love them? Yes. I wish there was a way that I could retrofit all of my knives to have this action. So I talked to Brian. I wanted to have Brian on the channel, and he's not much on public appearances and stuff. But Brian, if you're watching this, this is amazing. This is a step forward, and there's so many things now going forward, now that it's been proven. Now that I know this works, there are so many things I'm looking forward to. There are so many things in my head that could be done this way, that just, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to see what the next big thing coming out of Brian's big head. You know what? I imagine that Brian just doesn't want to come on because he looks like one of those creatures from like a sci-fi movie where he's just got this massive head, because to have the brain power to make this work, the lock is magnetic. The spring is, when you reach a point, this comes over, that magnet pulls itself up against the blade and locks it. Like I said, it's a magnetic access bar lock. There's just, I know that this seems like an out of sorts video, and it's because it's got to be out of sorts. This knife just puts you out of sorts. Like, you don't know how to react. And then you realize it's amazing. And I love it. So, Brian, I have to tell you, I am so looking forward to seeing things you're going to do in the future. So, guys, I don't know how to tell. Like, I can't. This isn't going to be those ones where I'm spec heavy about how much I used it and things like that. This knife is just amazing, and it makes you want to use it, and it makes you want to carry it. And just the fact that it sounds like this is just, it's nutballs. It's nuts. It's insane how good this feels. And then not just to jump on it being gimmick, Brian made a really functional, really useful everyday carry that just kind of breaks the norm. So, guys, that's it. Let's turn this around. We'll do some final thoughts, and I'll send you out about your day. So, guys, there you go. The WINTERBLADE Factor. Brian knocked it out of the park with this. I just can't come up with the words to explain. Like, you need to find somebody that has one of these and just feel it. Like, I can't put into words how good this actually is and how impressive it is that it's all magnets. So, I mean, I could go on about this knife literally for days, and I did it once before in a video that I accidentally erased and had to refilm. This one right now that I'm filming. So, if you guys know me, I don't like refilming. So, guys, that's it on this one. I love y'all, and that's not how we do it. Such a hurry. I threw the very end at the very beginning of the outro. Guys, if you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. Please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. Those are some of the best ways. There's another way you can do it. You guys know Jared sends me stuff all the time. If you have knives that you think would play well in a video, or that you're just interested in my take on it, reach out to me. Email address is in the description below, and I can absolutely let you know if it's something I think would play well in a video, or if it's something I've already done, or if it's something I'm just not that interested in. But we might be able to get your knives that you love on the channel and see if I like them as well. There are some ways to support the channel financially. The best way, which absolutely costs you nothing extra, is if you're gonna do some shopping, just use my affiliate links down below, especially if you're going to be on Amazon. Anything you purchase with any of the links down below do not cost you anything. As a matter of fact, my newest affiliate actually saves you 10%, and that's Dollstrong Knives. If you go to their website, pick out some stuff. If you like it, if you use my affiliate link, it saves you 10% on your overall order. But there's a lot of stuff down there. Other ways you can do it, I have a membership down below. It's tier-based. Premium tier guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series that's just for them. Baseline and premium tier guys are automatically entered into a giveaway that I do on my Gilded server. And that's the last benefit, is everyone that's a member, including the just looking tier, gets access to my Gilded server where we do a bunch of stuff. There's several different rooms. We chat. There's rooms set up for knife trade, knife sale, things like that. Just general goofiness that we do. And the final way is I have a merchandise store at Ember Shirt Co. where I've set up a coupon code there that saves you 10% on anyone's merchandise, any of the creators, including mine. And that coupon code is CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. Their shirts are some of the best shirts out there that they use for their blanks, and then their printing is stellar. So guys, that's it. I apologize about having to drop the thing in the very beginning, but I wanted to get that out so you guys understand maybe why the videos aren't quite up to what they usually are, but still gonna keep doing them. That's it, guys. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.